celebrates Black History Month.
Right now at 5, students in Liberal, Missouri learn a sobering lesson about impaired driving.
And we've got ourselves a mostly cloudy day across the area. We're going to see an opportunity for thunderstorms overnight. We'll take a look at the forecast, get you out the door coming up.
Plus, Jackson County, Missouri prosecutors charged 2 men with second-degree murder for their role in last week's mass shooting in Kansas City.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning, 4 states, and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. The time now is 5 a.m. I'm Caitlin O'Shaughnessy.
I'm Chris Warner. We are halfway through the week. It is Wednesday.
Right.
Again, as we mentioned earlier, this is the last full week of February. Now, next week comes pretty close, but March the 1st is next Friday.
Wow.
So hard to believe, but boy, it's been feeling like March here lately, hasn't it?
It's lovely. I'm loving this weather.
If it's not been warm enough for you, just hang on a second because it's going to be even warmer today. Let's take a quick look outside. It's our camera at downtown Joplin on top of the Cornell complex. And as you can see, it's looking pretty good. We've got some clouds out there. Some of these clouds are relatively thin, so even though it's still technically mostly cloudy, you can still see through some of them, at least with the moon for sure. MoDOT camera 32nd in range line, also looking pretty good this morning as well. Temperatures around the region much warmer than where we have been here lately. Take a look at this. We've got low to mid 40s, upper 40s across parts of the area, and then the further east you go, we've even got some low to mid 50s for our current temperatures out there. It is well above average, as we should be in the upper 20s. We are just a few degrees shy of what our average highs should be in some locations. In others, Joplin, Carthage, for example, that's above what our average high should be for this time of year. That's how much warmer than normal we are. Kids getting on the bus, 51 degrees, mostly cloudy, a bit breezy. South winds 10 to 15, occasional gusts up to 20. And that's the nice thing. Yeah, it's going to be breezy, but it's not like some days where it's gusty all day. We're going to have occasional gusts to 25. Otherwise, south breeze 10 to 15, mostly cloudy still. And look at that, 74 when the bus brings them home. We've got highs right around the mid 70s today. Some of us may even go upper 70s out there. We will be mostly cloudy. We will be breezy. And that is ahead of our thunderstorm chances heading into tonight. And well, early Thursday morning. It's all about perspective, whether it's tonight or in the morning. We'll talk about those thunderstorm chances and what we're expecting as we head into the weekend in the full forecast here in just a few more minutes. Caitlin?
Thanks, Chris. Authorities charged 2 more suspects in connection with the Kansas City Victory Rally shooting. This time, it's adults, and the charge is murder. The 2 suspects are Lindell Ways of Raytown and Dominic M. Miller of Kansas City. We do not yet have Miller's mugshot. Authorities have been hospitalized since the shooting that killed 1 woman and injured 22 others. But investigators did not say whether the men had gunshot wounds or other injuries. They each face a second-degree murder charge, among other charges. Investigators believe the men did not know each other before the shooting. Charging documents say there was an altercation between the suspects, who were both armed, and that it was Miller who fired the fatal shot that killed Lopez Galvin. These suspects are in addition to 2 juveniles arrested on gun-related and resisting arrest charges.
We seek to hold every shooter accountable for their actions on that day. Every single one. So while we're not there yet on every single individual, we're going to get there.
I am grateful that the Jackson County Prosecutor's Office has charged them with various felonies as consequences of their reckless actions. The Prosecutor's Office has my full confidence in the handling and prosecution of this case.
I'll say very briefly that lawlessness and criminality will never be tolerated in Kansas City.
The suspects are being held on $1 million bond. Authorities say more charges are possible. The Parsons, Kansas Police Department yesterday held a discussion on the challenges facing local law enforcement. Congressman Jake Latner was involved in the discussion. Parsons Police Chief Robert Spinks also gave LaTurner a tour of the site of a proposed public safety center. City officials hope LaTurner can help them secure partial funding to build the cutting-edge facility.
what law enforcement officers are combating every day, whether it's fentanyl from the enormous amount that is crossing our southern border, or whether it's issues with domestic violence or drugs at large. It's important that we have law enforcement's back. I always have, and I will continue to do that.
The proposed Public Safety Center would create a centralized location for both the Parsons Police and Fire departments. The Parsons Police Department also broke new virtual ground yesterday with a cutting-edge training simulator. Officer Tyler White became the first officer to test the simulator. The police department hopes the high-tech tool will enhance officer skills and readiness on the job.
A lot of issues relative to police use of force, making sure that the policing profession, evolves in a guardian mentality, not just an enforcement mentality. And maybe the best way to do that is not always with just more laws. Maybe it's about training law enforcement better. Okay, just practice.
Parsons PD used federal grants to purchase the simulator. And students at Liberal High School in Missouri got a chance to get behind the wheel and simulate impaired driving. KOAM's Amber Jenkins has more.
The Arrive Alive tour made a stop in Liberal, Missouri to show students how difficult it is to drive while impaired.
Yeah, this is a little more in depth. We use some state-of-the-art equipment to be able to, we allow the car to turn in place with the two pads that we have the front wheels on. And then there's a cable running from one of them back to the laptop that allows me to manipulate the level of blood alcohol content or the THC setting that they're on.
From freshmen to seniors, students got behind the wheel.
It overcorrected a lot, so if I went a little bit left, it would go super far left, and then it was just hard to know which way I was going and how much to move the steering wheel and how fast to go and stuff.
This is the first time the Arrive Alive tour stopped at Liberal High School. The school's counselor says this is a perfect learning opportunity.
And they all have the mentality of it's not going to happen to me, or I can do that. I'm a really good driver. I can be on my phone and I won't have any consequences. It'll be great.
I hit a house super easily, and it was weird. I couldn't really control at all what I was doing.
Although the students understand that this is a simulation, they understand if they do this in real life, the consequences are very realistic.
I mean, I'd probably go to jail for quite a while.
It's kind of fulfilling when you hear a kid get out of the vehicle and say, well, I'm never going to do that again.
Reporting in Liberal, Amber Jenkins, KOAM News.
The simulation is paid through grants at no cost to the school. And that's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News, Lady Trojans hoping to spring an upset on undefeated Colgan. We'll have the details. Plus, several cities in Japan get outside to enjoy an unseasonably warm February day. And we have a windy and cloudy day today. We'll have what to expect with Chris Warner in the Skywatch Weather Center. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back.
Family member in need of care in the home? Phoenix provides care in the forward to getting to know you. Reach out today.
Well, Frontenac High School's entire student body gathered in its gym yesterday afternoon to celebrate a classmate who will be competing at the collegiate level. Frontenac High School senior Kaylee Hensley signing with Division III Earlham College to join its golf team. Hensley just began golfing her freshman year of high school and explains the recruiting process was a little bit atypical, but it became clear that Earlham was the best place for her.
They kind of sought me out. I didn't really know a whole lot about them, and they sought me out, and we had a Zoom interview last May, I think, and then I kept in contact with them over the summer and went and visited them, and I love the school, I love the coaches there, and so it was an easy decision to make.
Over to high school basketball, two of our local schools had senior night yesterday evening, including Girard hosting Colgan. Lady Trojans are the closest ones to beating Colgan this year. Nobody has come within 15 points of the Panthers, except for Girard, who lost by 2 when they first met a month ago. Senior night in Girard, Lady Trojans hoping to spring an upset on undefeated Colgan. Lady Panthers came ready to play early second quarter. Delaney Meek dials up a 3 and connects from the wing. Colgan jumps out to an 18-4 lead. Girard doing its best to stem the tide. Hayden Buckley pulls the trigger from the corner. She hits a 3. That lead cut down to 13. Lily Brown was face guarded most of the night. That leaves other players open like Lauren O'Brien, who splashes home a 3. Panthers up 17 at halftime. Back to Lily Brown. You can try and keep her quiet. Nearly impossible to stop her altogether, though. She hits the layup off a beautiful backdoor feed from Meek. Then Brown hit on the arm, still converts the bucket plus the foul. Colgan dominates on the road. Lady Panthers are undefeated CNC League champions. Girard boys basketball trying to avenge a 25-point road loss to Colgan last month. The Trojans come out firing on all cylinders on senior night. Aiden Troike left open from beyond the arc. He buries the 3. Girard up by 4. Colgan begins ice cold from the field. Tucker Harrell pulls up and connects to get the Panthers on the board. Score 6 of their first 7 points, but Troike goes right at Harrell on the other end. Senior against senior leads to 2 more Girard points. Trojans up 5. Freshman Cam Smith left open from beyond the arc. He hits and stretches the lead to 8. Trojans on the fast break. Smith finds fellow freshman Ben Cullen, and he finishes through the contact and would add 1 more at the line. Girard hands Colgan its worst loss of the season. Trojans win big on senior night 50-29. Webb City boys basketball last night on the road, looking to put a damper on Carl Junction's senior night. First quarter, Eli Pace passes to Baron Duda, and he's going to sink a 3-point floater, finishes with 19 points. Cardinals lead by 4, but here come the Bulldogs. Brody Pant has it and under pressure, but he nails the fadeaway jumper for 2. CJ now has the lead. Close game all second quarter. Good passing by the Bulldogs. Jet Mills drives, kicks it to Jet Hokut, and he nails the 3-point shot just before the half. Bulldogs lead by 1. Third quarter, Webb City opening things up. Omari Jackson, no one near him, connects from 3 in the corner. More on him in just a bit. Cardinals now up by 8. Fourth quarter, Holton Keith assists Jackson. He takes the contact. He's going to knock it off the glass and give him 1 more. Jackson finishes with 14 points and 2 assists. Webb City runs away in the second half. They take this one 74-57. Cardinals have their final home game Thursday against East Newton. Well, still to come, an elementary school in South Florida is dealing with a measles outbreak. Well, the latest on that. Plus, another check of that forecast and those thunderstorm chances when the KOAM Morning News returns.
As easy as 1, 2, 3 at Roper Honda. Truly every vehicle.
Your warranty lasts forever at Roper Honda.
Girard Medical Center Express Care open from 9 to 5 every weekend and most major holidays.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 5:17 on this Wednesday. Got some weather to talk about. We haven't had much to talk about other than warm weather lately, so let's dive into this here. First, a look from our camera downtown Joplin in the Cornell Complex. It is breezy out there, as you can see. It's also relatively cloudy as well. MoDOT camera, 32nd in range line. Not too bad. In fact, we are way above average. Some of us are actually above what our average high is right now at this time of day. That's how warm it's going to be. Now today we're going to be breezy. We're going to have those gusts out of the south at about 20-25 miles an hour on occasion. It's going to be mostly cloudy, but it's going to be even warmer today than where we have been the last couple of days as we go into the low to mid 70s, maybe even some upper 70s for some of us. It won't be until late tonight or Thursday morning, depending on your perspective, when you wake up each day, that we're going to start to see some thunderstorm chances. So let's head into it. Here we are, Thursday, 1 a.m., starting to see some scattered showers and thunderstorms out there, and these will continue. So we're going to make an hour-by-hour stop here. Here we are at 2 a.m. Scattered thunderstorms across the area. By 3 a.m., they're continuing to lift off to the east-northeast. By 5 a.m., we're left with some scattered showers and maybe a couple of rumbles of thunder. And then as we go through the first part of our Thursday, by noon, skies begin to clear. It's a little cooler. We have a north wind now, but the rain showers are out of here. We still have that low wind risk for some strong, marginally severe storms. That's not to say we couldn't see a severe thunderstorm warning or two overnight tonight, but the good news is still not much has changed. We have a low wind risk for some hail out there. That's really about it. We're not talking large hail by any means. We're talking some small, marginally severe hail. And that's going to be about it. So that's some good news right there. But do be prepared for some rumbles of thunder overnight tonight, very early tomorrow morning. In Joplin right now, 53. It is mostly cloudy. At south breeze is at about 10 miles an hour. And again, temperatures around the region. Some of us low to mid 40s, upper 40s out in southeast Kansas. You head a little further east, southeast. Now we're getting into the low to mid 50s. And the low to mid 50s are where our highs should be for this time of year. So we are very warm out there. We're going to be mostly cloudy, breezy out there on occasion. That's the other good news, at least, is we're going to have those wind gusts, but they're going to be occasional. We're not looking at sustained continuous gusty winds, but look at this, 66 by 11 o'clock this morning. Heading through the afternoon, I forgot to change that number. Something told me I didn't change it this morning, and I didn't. That's supposed to be 75. We're looking at mid-70s, maybe some upper 70s out there with these mostly cloudy skies. And we head into tonight. Now, through the evening, again, we're quiet through the evening. We're cloudy, we're breezy, we're mild. It won't be until, again, after midnight that we'll see those thunderstorm chances. And we're going to fall back into the low to mid-50s across the area. Now, as we head into next week, there's still something else that we are keeping an eye on. Now, it doesn't seem like a lot yet, but it is something we're watching. Let's talk about the weekend first. 61 Friday, 64 Saturday, 71 Sunday. A few clouds, but otherwise an absolutely beautiful weekend. Mid-70s, low to mid-70s rather, on Monday, partly cloudy. Then Tuesday, we got these pop-up thunderstorm chances. However, again, we're obviously, look at how many days we have between now and then. It's something we're keeping an eye on, but by Tuesday evening into the overnight hours heading into Wednesday, we are watching the possibility of some stronger storms next week. We're still a ways out. There's a lot of variables in play, but just putting it out there as a heads up to you folks at home, we want to watch Tuesday night into Wednesday very closely. Now, it may end up fizzling out a bit, and we just get some good old-fashioned thunderstorms, but we do want to keep an eye on it, because here's the other side. This system's going to be powerful because look at what happens to temperatures on the backside of this. We go from 73 to 45, 25 for the low that night. So we'll keep a close eye on that. But from now, just enjoy the weekend and be ready for some rumbles of thunder overnight tonight. Let's check your forecast. We will be back with Health Watch right after this.
It's Ford Truck Month, and we're celebrating KOAM, your Midwest Ford dealers, and Downstream Casino Resort.
Topping Health Watch this morning, an elementary school in South Florida is dealing with a measles outbreak. Officials at Manatee Bay Elementary School in Weston reported a 6th case of measles on Tuesday. The first case was reported less than a week ago. A Broward County school spokesman said it expects to receive guidance from the Florida Department of Health and will update parents and school officials once they know more. Workers at the school conducted a deep cleaning of the building over the weekend and changed all of the school's air filters. President Joe Biden is working to clean up the nation's drinking water. His administration has announced $5.8 billion that will go to states, territories, and tribes to clean drinking water, improve wastewater and sanitation, replace lead pipes, and remove contaminants. The funding comes from the 2021 bipartisan legislation that designated $50 billion toward improving the country's water infrastructure. Throughout the country, there are more than 2.2 million miles of underground pipes that carry drinking water and more than 16,000 treatment plants that handle wastewater. But the system has been receiving poor grades for decades. The Environmental Protection Agency says many of the problems stem from a lack of investment. A new study says adopting healthy lifestyle behaviors could reduce your risk of irritable bowel syndrome. The results were published Tuesday in the journal Gut. The study said middle-aged adults and older who were physically active, ate a quality diet, slept well, and didn't smoke dropped their chances by up to 42% of developing IBS. The disorder affects 1 in 10 people worldwide. Those living with it experience abdominal pain, bloating, and abnormal bowel habits. Researchers said the cause of the condition is not fully understood. Previous studies have linked individual unhealthy lifestyle factors with a heightened risk of IBS. And there could be a way to detect cancer in dogs. Researchers from the Virginia-Maryland College of Veterinary Medicine and Virginia Tech's Colleges of Engineering and Agriculture and Life Sciences are working on it. Lindsay Cook tells us more.
Experts say cancer is the leading cause of death in dogs, but thanks to a research team at the Virginia Tech Animal Cancer Care and Research Center, veterinarians could start screening for cancer in dogs years in advance. Dr. Nick Dervasis, a veterinarian and medical oncologist, has helped lead the research. A urine sample allows the team to identify a healthy or cancerous fingerprint in dogs.
The goal of this is to move the vigilance of animal cancer from the doctor's office to the families that own the animals. It can help us detect cancer earlier, and the earlier you detect cancer, theoretically you have more chances of providing appropriate care.
This is one of the first studies using a non-invasive and rapid test. Dr. Dervasis says results so far are over 90% accurate.
Finding cancer early can allow you to treat it earlier, and for some cancers that can be curative, that can or prolong significantly survival. Even for cancers that there's no treatment, finding the cancer early might give you opportunities to improve the animal's quality of life.
Dr. Margie Lee, the director at the Virginia Tech Animal Cancer Care and Research Center, adds the research could even have an impact on human cancer studies.
We really value not just the pet part, but also the human part, because it's all tied together in one health.
She looks forward to the impact research will have on pet owners.
It's pretty good. I mean, you're bringing hope.
Dr. Dervasis says it could take anywhere from 5 to 10 years to complete research, but when finished, could have lasting impacts on cancer research. In Roanoke, Lindsay Cook, WDBJ7.
That's a look at some of today's top health stories. You're watching the KOAM Morning News.
And we've got ourselves a warm and breezy day out there. Mostly cloudy skies expected, and we've got rain chances later tonight. We'll have another look at your forecast when the KOAM Morning News returns.
Financing on a new dependable John Deere mower or compact tractor. Stop in or visit heritagetractor.com today. Exclusions apply. Offer ends March 16, 2024.
Right now at 5:30, twin teachers at Joplin Elementary have students and staff doing a double take.
And we've got ourselves a warm and breezy day out there with some cloudy skies as well. We'll take a look at that forecast, get you out the door coming up.
Plus, a Barton County group meets to create a plan to preserve the more than 75 cemeteries in the county.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning, 4 states, and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. The time now is 5:31 a.m. I'm Caitlin O'Shaughnessy.
Now, I'm Chris Warner. It's, as we mentioned, it's Wednesday. We're halfway through the week. It's almost Friday. It's going to be an absolutely pleasant weekend. I stopped at Quick Trip this morning. I had some spare change. And I need a big soda to get through the day. And the guy that was working there, we were talking, and he's like, boy, it seems like the last few weekends have just been kind of miserable. And he's right. We've had these nice weeks, and then we get to the weekend. It's cold, it's rainy, it's miserable. You can't do anything. This weekend is going to be the polar opposite.
All right.
Which is great. We'll talk more about the weekend forecast and all that in a full forecast later in the show. But first, let's get you out the door. Let's take a quick look at the MoDOT camera. 32nd and Range line in Joplin, looking pretty good as it looks off roughly to the west there. And as we take a look at temperatures around the region, keep in mind our average highs are supposed to be right around the low 50s for this time of year. Look at these temperatures. Upper 40s in parts of southeast Kansas and Oklahoma. There are some low 40s sprinkled in. And you head further east, we're in the low 50s right now. That's how far above average we're going to be. Today, kids getting on the bus, mostly cloudy, breezy, occasional gusts out of the south to 20, right around 51. When that bus brings them home, this is not a typo. This is just insanity for this time of year. 74, mostly cloudy, occasional wind gusts up to 25, south breeze 10 to 15. That's the nice thing is, we're going to have those gusty winds, but it's not going to be continuously gusty. It's going to be the occasional gusts. We're going to be mostly cloudy, well above average as we head right around the mid 70s, maybe even some upper 70s out there. Mostly cloudy through the evening as well. Then we've got thunderstorm chances late tonight into early tomorrow morning. We're going to talk about those storm chances and that gorgeous weekend in the full forecast here in just a few more minutes. Caitlin?
Thanks, Chris. It was all business for Allen Community College students yesterday in Iola, Kansas. The school hosted the second annual Allen Entrepreneurship Challenge. The competition challenged Allen Community College students to present their business ideas to a group of local judges. Event organizers try to prepare students for various business scenarios.
And so we really try to reach out to different parts of the business industry, HR and business owners and management and legal. And so we try to cover all the bases that students, when they create a business, they'll need to be thinking of.
The competition also awarded 3 prizes and cash, $750 for first place, $500 for second, and $250 for third. The wrestling team at McDonald County made history yesterday. The high school treated the team to an exuberant send-off as it heads to state competition with not 1, not 2, but 3 female wrestlers ready to compete. For the Mustangs coach, the occasion proved to be a special one.
I mean, this is an exciting year from that standpoint, getting our first not only state qualifier, but 3 on our girls team. And like I said, Coach Davis, all the props to him. He's put in a lot of time and effort getting this girls program where it is, and along with our coaching staff. And I think just hopefully setting the standard that this isn't just a boys' sport anymore.
The high school will also send 2 returning state champions on the boys' side to defend their titles at state competition. A Barton County, Missouri organization yesterday held a meeting to discuss the preservation of at-risk and abandoned cemeteries in the county. Not forgotten, Barton County Cemeteries takes care of more than 75 cemeteries. Yesterday's meeting at Memorial Hall in Lamar was a chance for residents to learn about the group and how they can help.
Large group of people who are passionate about this cause, and they've come together to talk about their needs and the things that they can share and support each other with in terms of resources and ideas for preserving and maintaining the cemeteries of Barton County.
But just everybody work together, you know, because this is history. It means something, you know, because if it wasn't for the ones that's 800 years ago, whatever, you know, Lamar wouldn't be here.
The group will be hosting a workday at Mine & Mine Cemetery on Saturday, March 9th. Tempur Sealy International delivered mattresses and foundations to Ronald McDonald House of the 4 States yesterday in Joplin. The mattress company donated 19 mattresses to replace the existing ones in the house. 9 rooms will hold 2 full beds each, and the 10th room, which serves as an overnight manager's suite, holds 1 queen bed. Ronald McDonald House says its partner at Tempur Sealy helps families feel at home when they need help the most. Reagan and Madison Fowler are elementary school teachers in the Joplin School District. Not only are the 2 sisters, but they are also twins. Despite not actually being identical, the resemblance is uncanny. The 2 are Missouri Southern graduates. They took all the same classes, and they say they've even switched places back in high school to prank their teachers.
It's not like we don't hold things against each other. We're able to separate our minds from each other and just think, okay, this is okay. We're different in some ways. So, and I think that makes it special.
Mm-hmm. My mom would always say, like, when our sisters would say something like, the twins are ganging up on us, like I mentioned earlier, I would try to say, it's not that we're ganging up on you, it's just Maddie is my teammate.
Reagan now teaches kindergarten at Royal Heights Elementary. Madison teaches 2nd grade at Jefferson Elementary. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. A court in Moscow rules to keep Wall Street Journal reporter Evan Gershkovich behind bars. Plus, the United Nations Food Agency is pausing aid deliveries to Gaza as of Tuesday. We'll have the latest. You're watching the KOAM Morning News.
Of Aaron Sachs and Associates, committed to community service.
Topping World Watch, the sky is not falling, but a space satellite is. The European Space Agency says one of its 5,000-pound satellites will likely re-enter Earth's atmosphere Wednesday. Most of the satellite is expected to burn up before reaching the Earth. The satellite was used for nearly 30 years to collect data on the Earth's polar caps, oceans, and natural disasters. The agency says the re-entry is natural, but it cannot predict exactly when or where it will land. People in several cities in Japan's Kanto region get outside to enjoy an unseasonably warm February day. Locals and visitors alike enjoyed a walk through the cherry blossoms in weather that was more April-like on Tuesday. One visitor saying the temperatures were perfect for blossom viewing. Forecasters are predicting the warm weather won't last long as temperatures are expected to plunge later in the week. And a court in Moscow rules to keep Wall Street Journal reporter Evan Gershkovich behind bars. The Moscow City Court rejected an appeal filed by Gershkovich's lawyer on Tuesday to have him released before his trial on espionage charges gets underway. As a result, the 32-year-old defendant will end up spending at least a year behind bars. After his arrest in March of 2023, while he was on a reporting trip in the Ural Mountains, Gershkovich and the Wall Street Journal have denied Russia's allegations. And the U.S. government has declared him wrongfully detained. Russian authorities have not detailed any evidence to support the charges against Gershkovich. The United Nations Food Agency is pausing aid deliveries to Gaza as of Tuesday. The World Food Program said the pause will remain until there are safe conditions for deliveries. The agency said trucks have been met with gunfire, violence, and chaos. Several trucks have been looted and a driver was beaten. According to a recent study by the UN Children's Agency, 1 in 6 children are acutely malnourished in the area. Israel has said it will expand its military presence into Rafah. The move will cause further complications for relief efforts as most aid is brought in through the city. Moderate Republicans in the House are advocating for a slimmed-down alternative to the Senate-passed foreign aid bill, which would provide money for Ukraine, Taiwan, and Israel. It would also include a resurrection of the Trump-era Remain in Mexico border policy. National security correspondent Jennifer Griffin looks at another reason many Republicans are in favor of spending more taxpayer dollars on the Ukrainian effort.
We need the supplemental immediately. And we've been saying that and sounding these alarm bells since October. And so we're going to continue to urge Congress to do its job.
The Pentagon again urging the House to act. Republicans who support more U.S. military aid to Ukraine are now making an America First argument for sending ammunition and weapons. Their analysis shows 90% of the money already given to Ukraine stayed in the U.S., supporting American workers, modernizing an atrophied U.S. defense manufacturing base.
It's not a jobs program, but we need to have a strong defense industrial base in order to protect America.
Senator J.D. Vance opposes Ukraine aid and refused to meet President Zelensky at the Munich Security Conference. His voters stand to benefit from the Ukraine aid bill because the factories where Abrams tanks, Stryker vehicles, and guided multiple launch systems are manufactured in Ohio.
I don't think spending another $61 billion of American money actually helps the Ukrainians that much because, again, our munition supplies are fundamentally depleted. There's only so much that we can do with additional dollars.
In fact, Ukraine aid helped increase U.S. production of 155mm shells, up from 15,000 shells a month before the war to 100,000 shells a month by next year.
What if we had gotten into a conflict in Taiwan and discovered that we didn't have the ability to produce these weapons because the defense industrial base had fallen apart?
The Ukraine aid bill held up in the House includes $20 billion to revamp U.S. weapons stockpiles like these Stinger missiles made in Tucson, Arizona, which have not been manufactured since 2004.
That production line went dry for many years because of a lack of orders. In fact, we had to bring people back out of retirement to kind of help us reconstitute that line.
The Pentagon signed a $624 million contract to replace the 1,400 Stinger missiles sent to Ukraine, and now that production line is active again, helping modernize U.S. military stockpiles.
And that's a look at some of your biggest headlines from around the world. We'll be right back.
Wade's RV wishes you great adventure and safe travels in 2024.
Have a heart for veterans. Please consider joining the battle against veteran suicide. Contact Scotty at Charlie 22 to learn about impactful partnerships.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 5:46 now on this Wednesday morning. And today is going to be a relatively decent day ahead of some thunderstorm chances tonight. So let's talk about all that. First, a live look from our camera on the Cornell Complex, downtown Joplin. We've got clouds. It is a bit breezy out there, and it's relatively mild as well. MoDOT camera, 32nd in range line, also looking pretty good so far this morning. We're going to have those wind gusts, but they're going to be occasional. So that's the good news. It's going to be breezy, but it's not going to be continuously breezy, which will be nice. However, those south winds ushering in even warmer temperatures. Now, bear in mind, our average highs should be right around the low 50s. This is noon today. We're already in the upper 60s with some 70-degree readings out there. We will be mostly cloudy, but that will not inhibit our ability to warm up as we go low to mid 70s and even some upper 70s out there. Then through the evening, south breeze continues. We're still mostly cloudy. We're still quite mild by 10 o'clock. But do you see the wind arrow shifting out here to the west? A surface low is going to develop later today out to our west, and that's going to be the catalyst for some thunderstorm development. So here we are at 1 o'clock in the morning. We've got scattered thunderstorms out there from Oklahoma into southeastern Kansas. By 2 a.m., we've got a few more of these scattered showers and thunderstorms across the area, and by 3, they're continuing to lift off to the north and east. By 4 and 5 a.m., we are left with some scattered showers, mainly along into the east of Highway 69, and there still could be a rumble of thunder or two out there. And as we go by noon, the last of the showers are out of here. The skies are beginning to clear, but as that surface low hauls out of here, the winds back behind it will shift around out of the north. So they're going to be gusty out of the north. We're still mild. We're still above average, but it is going to be a bit cooler as we head into our Thursday afternoon. Now, some of the storms we see tonight could be strong to low-grade severe, and the primary concern is still hail. Now, just like we've been showing you the last few days, the risk level is still in that low area, but as you can see, some of those storms could produce some severe hail out there, so do be aware of that tonight with those thunderstorm chances. Right now in Joplin, it is, believe it or not, it is mostly cloudy because you could see the moon. Now you can't. It is 53, south breeze at 10. Temperatures around the region. Further west, it's a little cooler, but again, given that we're supposed to be in the upper 20s, right around 30, it is still well above average. Some low 40s, upper 40s, and as you head further east, we get into the low 50s. We're at what our average high should be for this time of year right now. We will be mostly cloudy. We will be breezy with those occasional southerly wind gusts. And look at that, 66 by 11 a.m. and that is ahead of those mid 70s out there, maybe even some upper 70s with those mostly cloudy skies. We head into tonight. Now again, in the evening, we're relatively calm. Mostly cloudy skies, mild, still breezy, but calm. It won't be until after midnight that those thunderstorm chances will roll in, and we're going to still be mild, low to mid 50s. The showers, storms wrap up in the first half of our Thursday. They're out of here. Our weekend looks fantastic. Even Monday not looking too bad. Low to mid 70s, partly cloudy. And then something we want to quickly touch on is Tuesday. We've got pop-up storm chances. But I want to point out some things here that are the key factors into what we're watching on Tuesday. 73 for the high. 25 for the low. 45 for the high on Wednesday. We got a potent system coming in next Tuesday. There's still a lot of variables, but we are watching for the potential for another round of severe weather on Tuesday. Again, we're still several days away. It's something we're going to keep an eye on, but we do want to just give you that early heads up to keep an eye on next Tuesday with those thunderstorm chances by Tuesday night into Wednesday morning out there. So we'll keep an eye on that for you. Otherwise, enjoy the weekend because it's going to be beautiful. That's Check Your Forecast. We're back with more right after this.
Nominate your Ford State Hero today.
Our name says it, and our prices prove it. Joplin Springfield.
We're learning about a happy ending to a story that began as a case of animal cruelty. It started when a Good Samaritan saw people throwing a baby pig around at a parade in Louisiana during carnival season. That little guy not only got rescued, but he's now getting a forever home. Sula Kim reports.
Meet baby Piglet. The Juliana pig is about 5 weeks old. He has colorful little spots, loves humans, and eats everything and anything you offer him.
He really likes grapes. He really likes bananas. He'll eat mostly any fruits or vegetables or really anything else that people eat. He will eat. He really likes crackers too.
Piglet was rescued by a Good Samaritan who saw him being tossed around like a Nerf football during the parade.
The closer that they got, they realized it wasn't a football, it was little Piglet.
But the story has a happy ending. The men surrendered the little guy to the Good Samaritan who brought Piglet to the Humane Society of Louisiana, and he will soon be in his forever home.
State Representative Lauren Ventrilla, a friend of ours and a friend of all animals who has a farm, wants to adopt little Piglet. So we couldn't be happier with that result.
Piglet is about 10 pounds now, but vet tech Emma Beach says he will grow to be about 80 pounds of pure cuteness and joy.
Glad Piglet has a happy ending. We'll be right back.
If you're thinking an evening showing at the Route 66 Theater in downtown Webb City. For tickets and information, go to secondsundaycinema.com.
John, Paul, George, and Ringo are heading to the big screen. Variety reports that director Sam Mendes is making 4 scripted movies about the Beatles. Each will be from one member's point of view. The movies will all intersect and culminate in the band's 1970 breakup. Paul McCartney, Ringo Starr, and the families of the late John Lennon and George Harrison have all granted full life story and music rights for the films. According to Variety, Sony Pictures Entertainment is financing the productions. They are scheduled to be released theatrically in 2027. And Starbucks says it will start offering a pork-flavored coffee at its stores in China. To mark the Lunar New Year, Starbucks will release its, quote, abundant year savory latte. According to the company's app, the drink will have a braised pork flavor sauce with espresso and steamed milk with extra pork sauce and pork breast meat for garnish. And that, quote, eating meat means prosperity in the coming year. The drink costs 68 yuan, or a little less than $10 US. According to one report, China is the biggest branded coffee shop market in the world, even ahead of the US. Starbucks opened 785 stores there last year.
And we've got ourselves a relatively pleasant day. We're going to be mostly cloudy. We'll have occasional wind gusts out of the south to 25. We're going to go right around 66 by 11. Highs today, mid-70s, maybe even some upper 70s out there. But we will stay mostly cloudy and we will stay breezy. Mild, cloudy, breezy through the evening into the 60s. And then after midnight tonight, some scattered thunderstorms, low to mid-50s. Some of those storms could be strong, marginally severe with some small hail is the primary concern. And that'll be the best opportunity for those storms will be between midnight and about 4 a.m. tomorrow. We're going to be a little cooler tomorrow. North winds, though, gusting upwards of 25 miles an hour. We're back into the low 60s. Our weekend looks fantastic as we warm through the 60s into the low 70s by Sunday. Monday, not too bad. Maybe take a 4-day weekend if you can. And then we're watching another round of thunderstorms Tuesday, especially Tuesday evening into the overnight hours, and some of those might be on the strong side, so we'll keep an eye on that for you. We're much colder, though, by Wednesday, and we'll eventually warm up by next Friday. Let's check your forecast. We're back with another hour of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
Don't drink and drive. At Bath Naylor Funeral Home, we're not in a hurry.